In America, many of us believe that if a person has a PhD behind his name or a doctor in front of it, they're an expert. An expert in what? Well, in anything. It's frowned upon to disobey the doctor. In school, you will be exiled for questioning the accuracy of a PhD, the basis of the PhD composed curriculum, or even the lunch items served as determined by a select group of PhDs. Well, what's wrong with all of these doctor and expert recommendations? After all, don't they know more than us? Shouldn't we trust them to tell us what to eat? Shouldn't we drink fluoride in our tap water because they say it's good for us? And shouldn't we believe Columbus discovered a continent with millions of people already living on it and evidence of visitors from other cultures? Okay, yeah, I'm joking a bit with that last one. Well, sort of. But having worked many years in the construction sciences, I have several friends with PhDs in the civil engineering and geotechnical fields. I would call them in a heartbeat if I needed to know the specific gravity of a 4,000 pound per square inch slab core. But I'm not so fond of calling experts to tell me how to live my life and to blindly follow. In the technical design of a building, the numbers either work or a wall starts to crack. Either way, the proof is obvious and usually no one gets hurt. But when it comes to people telling you what to do with your life, the results may not be obvious and you're always the one that stands to get hurt. Do you remember the doctors of the 1950s advertising for cigarettes, which they then considered to be safe? My point is that experts have their place. The information they provide can be extremely useful on the path to being knowledgeable to make your own decisions that work for you. We can allow expert advice to drive us crazy when we don't understand that not all advice works for everyone, and not all of this advice is accurate and without bias. This is easily proven when you look at the fact that experts oftentimes don't agree with other experts on the same subject. Even getting a second opinion from another physician can yield two completely different medical diagnoses. Experts debate each other regularly, challenge each other, and even sometimes disprove and denounce their own long-held beliefs. It's okay to think, question, and challenge. I often find that the best way to make informed decisions is to consider the most obvious popular advice and then find and study several findings that state the exact opposite or something completely different. You usually end up with a much more complete and balanced view. For example, I grew up eating and drinking a lot of dairy. Back when I drank cow's milk, my body suffered and did not handle it well. Yet still, the experts who created the food pyramid recommended I drink a glass with every meal. If I blindly took their advice instead of doing my own additional research, I would have never known that people can live well past 100 healthy years without drinking milk from an animal. Frankly, I don't know how we got so comfortable relying on other people to tell us what to do. I wonder how much of it just stems from the laziness of not wanting to do what it takes to gain knowledge for ourselves. How much of it is a fear of challenging authority that was deeply ingrained in us from childhood by our governments, religious institutions, and schools? And who benefits the most from all of this advice anyway? It seems to be people, groups, and agencies in every direction telling us what to do and what not to do. It is difficult for me to believe that these groups all have my best interests at heart and not the best interests of their wallets and personal agendas. With any advice, however, a red flag should pop up around anyone who desires to plant a seed of fear in you to get you to do what they tell you to do. Government agencies, news outlets, and many religious sects have long been experts of these kind of scare tactics. Remember, however, that installing fear and nurturing ignorance is the recipe for control. The more personal knowledge you have pertaining to important life issues, the more freedom you will experience. You were born with a brain for a reason. Do you really believe it was to have someone else do all your thinking? Clear rational thought and consideration leads to better decisions than those made quickly and in the midst of fear and panic. Let us stop taking everything we watch on television or read in a magazine as the gospel truth. This is indeed the quickest way to drive yourself crazy.